Welcome to our second episode of Talent and Lending Tech called Tipped with my amazing friend Alex Kutsishin and still business partner. What's going on? How's it going today?
Everything is going great, man. It's actually a little bit of a colder day here in Colorado today. We've been in the 60s with some beautiful sun, but today we got some cloudy out there, but it's sunny in here.
Well, I've been, as you know, very excited to get you on this show. You've always been an inspiration to me as my partner and my friend. We've
Oh,
had a
thanks,
great,
man.
many years of ventures together, and I'm looking forward to the episode today. So just for the audience viewing, this is our second episode of Talent and Lending Tech, as I mentioned. The purpose of the show is to highlight great tech entrepreneurs like Alex on the show today, and also bring a little bit of that human side into this from a creative perspective. A lot of us, especially in this industry and lending, are very creative. There's a lot of entrepreneurs, and it takes creative talent to be able to, really well execute in this industry. And so here on the show, we're going to talk a little bit about tech, AI, all those kinds of things. Try to give you something useful that you can walk away with. As an electronic DJ, he has some amazing creativity and music talent with mixing different tracks and adding his own, spice to that. And I'm just so excited to share that with all of you. So anyways, so Alex, maybe we start off, who are some of your music or creative influences, kind of just, to get us kicked off here with the show?
Yeah, great question, and thanks for having me on. And we've been on some adventures, and I think we're only getting started on all the adventures we're going to be on. It's so fun that we're talking about this now, and you have a podcast about this, and you're performing all over the place in the industry because um, it was. I just remember when the first time was when we got you out on that stage and being like, we're gonna get the world's gonna get to see what you can do, Mark. And I'm so glad it's taken the direction that it's taken. So, who are my creative influences? Well, I'm gonna make an easy one first because creative influences, you said, it has to do with not just music, but also just art and things like that. A lot of my creative influence comes from my mom. My mom is an artist, right? A major artist, and she does um, all, from painting to chalk to knitting to, and she can. It's really special to sewing, like all the things she does. It's really amazingly talented. So I've been painting and drawing and doing all kinds of art. We have an entire art room here for us and the kids. We're in there all the time. The rule in the art room is there are no rules in the art room. So guess what? There's drawings on the walls, drawings on the floor, drawings on the doors. They're everywhere because it's a creative room and we should be that way. So as far as other things artistically that I've been influenced by, I've always been big into like abstract art and street art. Um, you know, yes, I think realism, and yes, I think there's some amazing art when it comes to that. But I always found it very unique for someone to be able to take something and make it abstract. It's very
Mm.
easy to draw a glass with trees on it, right? But how do you make someone has to have a mind that's constantly thinking outside the box or lives outside the box to be like, I'm going to make it look like this. And it's
Yeah.
abstract and it's just discrete. So I've always been influenced by that. Musically, I'm a big hip hop guy, big hip hop
Mm.
guy,
Yeah.
huge EDM guys. You can see behind me. But I
Tell us,
like all
yeah,
music.
what do you have back there while you're talking? I would like, I'm
Yeah,
sure they
so
got.
we got a Pioneer setup here with a Serato software, a couple of monitor mic um, speakers there, and it's just a little home setup. We just started to get equipment, so you can see some of the equipment here. This is going to be for actually producing music, and you and I will be talking about that. There's a little bit more for producing music on that side.
You've been
So
performing a long time, haven't you? You have been performing for a while, and like you've been in music.
so yeah, it started. I was 17 when I discovered electronic dance music at the level that I discovered it,
Mm.
and was lucky enough to be let into some after hours nightclubs at that age, and then found my way up to the DJ booth and was like, who's responsible for creating this experience for all of us going nuts on the dance floor. And it was this
Sure.
person driving the bus for everyone. And it was a party bus for sure. And it was really impressive and it was mesmerizing. When I
Sure.
saw this person standing on this balcony overlooking hundreds of people, and they were in control of what everyone on that dance floor was going to do next, I was like, that's cool. You create the experience for every person in this room. I was blown away by it, and I wanted it. And so that's where so I've been doing it for a long time because I was 17 years old. I started talking to DJs. Then my buddy at the exact same time decided to get into DJing. His name is Arson. He lives up in New York now. And like at age 18, my buddy that lives right next to me bought himself a set of turntables, and I was at his house all the time. And I was just watching him. I wasn't even spinning. I was watching him spin. He was spinning. He was a little older than me. And then he gifted me those turntables, and he got himself some new ones. And so I started spinning, and I've been playing around with it for a while. And then I launched me and my co-founder. We launched a co-founder of a nightclub back in 2007, and that's where I really got into wanting to perform. And I only did it a couple times there because we have really good DJs, and I was just still getting good. But now I've been playing for so long. I mean, it's a second nature now. They're getting on these turns, and it's a time warp. Anyone that does music or any art, it warps time, right? You look up and you're like, how long have I been doing this for now? What? Like, I thought I just was 30 minutes playing some music. You look up and 4 hours have gone by. And it's because of that joy, right? It's that, like, you're so immersed into another dimension. Music is a dimension, right? You're so immersed in that other dimension that when you sometimes come out of it, time has gone by that you didn't even realize has gone by.
Yep.
I don't know if you have, do you have that experience?
Completely. I completely detach in about 60 seconds. And it's like, people can't talk to me if I'm playing. Like I'm in a zone. So, and every time you've sent me one of your clips that you've recorded in the last couple of years, it's been amazing. You're really doing a great job. And this isn't even your full-time thing. I think it'd be great also. I've had personally some friends in the industry and other, people out there that are curious what Alex is doing. And maybe we won't go into a commercial, but I think it'd be great to let everybody know, what you're up to for the moment. This would be a great form just to kind of.
Yeah, we won't do any commercials or anything like that. No commercial. No. I'm a fucking walking billboard.
Yeah.
What have I been up to? I've been lucky and enough to meet my co-founder in Fuel, Todd Duncan, that the lending industry knows maybe better than most. He is an author of 20 books, just 3 New York Times bestsellers. He's had millions of people go through his training and sales training, leadership training, communication, personal, all of that for almost 30 years now, maybe a little over 30 years now. And I've been lucky enough and blessed enough to have him now as a partner. And we're building a new learning platform. We've built a new learning platform that challenges learning as a whole. Okay. Learning to date has been about remembering things. Okay. Knowledge is saying, I understand. So we built a performance platform, which is a learning platform built for performance improvement in any area of your life. Because knowledge is saying you understand, performance is proving you understand, right? Yeah. So a musician, I can show you how to play a guitar, but you won't put me on stage until I show you that I can do it. I have to prove to you that I can do it. So knowledge is saying, I know which chord to hit, right? Performance is being able to hit those chords, right? Knowing how to hit them and hitting them are two different things. So Fuel is a platform that is designed to create happier, healthier humans, personal and professional development for all, democratized access to people that you would spend thousands of dollars to get this one course, not just read a book for knowledge, but to get a course will actually help you do the thing you learned, cost you thousands of dollars just for that one. and we're democratizing it. Dollars. I'm talking about dollars a month, right? So affordable that it's going to accomplish what has been missing. And what's been missing is we have a lot of people that know things but can't do things. I just read an article about how companies are starting to fire Gen Z and actually not hire them, and are reluctant to hire them because they are not applying the things they know. They're just expecting things to happen. They're not communicating things. They're so used to the laxed environment, because most of the Gen Zs that are now going to work are came up in the COVID time, right? They started turning of age in COVID, like in their 20s, and I think the most oldest Gen Z is 27, right? So they're hitting the workforce, and they're not able to do the things they say they can do. That's a problem, because knowledge, right? Knowledge itself, okay, has changed. It used to be that anyone could access knowledge right here or on one of those little computers behind me, right? Anyone could access knowledge. But now knowledge, not only something you access, but now knowledge communicates with you. I can act, and knowledge, intelligence formulates a response just for me. So, okay, hold on a second. Are we still seeking knowledge for knowledge's sake? No, not anymore. That's gone. If that's the case, we have been replaced. We have been replaced. If the case is, hey, we need people to know more things, it's over.
Yeah.
It's not about knowing. It's, can you do the thing you know? Can you apply your knowledge? If you can apply your knowledge, you're a very valuable asset. If you can't apply your knowledge and you just contain knowledge, you're not as valuable as you used to be. You used to be very valuable. You're not as valuable anymore. And so Fuel is ushering in a new experience for the human race. It says, hey, we got the knowledge. Now, how do you apply it? Because very soon, the knowledge will be able to apply it as well. Then what?
So this is an amazing platform, Alex, if I may just quickly compliment to what you're saying. So this really is a platform that incorporates digital accountability with the human side execution. Does that sound right? And that's, I mean, lenders can use for trying, we have to continuously hire our successors in businesses that stay long-standing, right? You have to bring in new generations. You have to bring in people that can execute, right? And so would you say this system can help lenders to do that?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. First of all, everyone listening to this, the future of execution, the future of performance, the future of your people actually being able to do the job you ask them to do has all to do with the individual person. Are they being fulfilled? Do they believe in themselves? Are they happy? Their emotional state, their EQ, people's EQ is going to be the number one thing you test for, check for, engage about when you're hiring somebody. You're going to find that people's emotional intelligence, their ability to work in groups, their ability to communicate, their ability to handle stressful situations, how they're emotionally connected to themselves and the things around them is the number one criteria for a healthy, successful business, which is powered by humans. So the same thing for a healthy, successful person, you need emotional intelligence. And so Fuel is a platform that's built on personal development. There are courses on mindset, leadership, manifestation, creative thinking, all of those things. And they're all micro lessons. They're all designed to fit in with your time. Our attention spans have gotten smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. It's not just us making it up. It's a fact. Our attention span got smaller. And you know what? Listening to someone talk about a subject for an hour straight, we are no longer interested in that anymore like that.
No.
We're not. Because we figure things out
all the time.
But we also solve things much faster now because we've heard more things than we've ever heard before because it's everywhere, right? It's everywhere. And so you asked me a question. Is this a tool that lenders will be able to use to build their teams? It is the number one tool right now to build your team because you're not building a team anymore. You're going to focus on building the individual. And the individual that cares about themselves and wants them to be the best version of themselves, the company benefits. Anyone that's stressed, over too much pressure, doesn't feel supported, doesn't feel heard, it's just waiting for a moment to leave.
Yeah. What I love about your product, Alex, and your team is that, there really is no other offering out there that I've seen. And, I'm involved in the TMC Tech Fund as a volunteer advisory. So I get to see a lot of tech. I go to a lot of tech events in the industry. I was at Lending Tree's Technology Challenge, a lot of different things. And I haven't seen an offering like yours. One more question for you on your product that kind of plays the industry. A lot of lenders are curious, how to really get useful application out of AI. And I think your company has solved, one great way for that as a unique offering. How are you using AI in your technology product, and how can lenders take advantage of that?
Yeah. So like right now, one of the AI features is I come in and I say, "Hey, Leo," that's the name of our AI. "Hey, Leo, man, I've been stressed a lot lately. I'm trying to find a stress reliever. Are there any lessons about stress relief?" And it goes, "Yeah, here's a few." Right? Just communicating. Just again, we're looking at this in how humans like to operate now. Everything is hyper customized. Okay. We all realized recently that we're all unique. It's like a literally recent realization. Like we're all unique, we're all different, and yet it's true. But it's like, we still think about giving everyone the same information, and hopefully they hear it the same way at the same time. And the truth is, if you look at the top performers in the world of anything, they all do it their own way at their own time. That's most convenient to them. Now, don't take this the wrong way. All of us, when we first start out, so think about you, Mark, extremely successful. You've been extremely successful, multiple industries, multiple skills. I mean, you're one of the.
It's good entertainment.
Yeah,
you can post me if you want.
Yeah, well, listen, it's true. You're extremely successful in many different things, including family. And if you think about what got you here, it took a lot of grit, determination, sacrifice. I mean, a ton. And then when you got into a certain flow, answer this for everyone. How much self-care do you give yourself now versus 10 years ago?
How much self-care? You mean as far as growth or attention?
All kinds of things. So like when you have the desire to play your guitar, when you were just getting into the industry, into growing, would you stop and go, you know what? I have a niche. I need to play because it feels good to. Or you say, no, I got to work. I'll play later. Like how much self-care, how much working out do you do? How much meditation do you do? How much time do you spend with your kids? How much reading? How much stretching? How much fishing? How much do you give yourself now compared to what you gave yourself 10 years ago? Is it more or less?
It goes in ebbs and flows for me. So probably the answer is not enough. Right. But
there you go.
There are times when I'll focus, but oftentimes you're distracted with many competing priorities. Right. So that does happen often.
So what I've found recently in doing research and building Fuel and connecting with people all over the world, right? We're talking to groups out of Africa, Australia, Canada, South America. They all want to introduce Fuel into their worlds. What we're finding is more and more self-care is the number one thing that comes up for people. More and more people are thinking about how they're going to feel, what the result is going to be for them personally, not financially, how they're going to feel about this, what their emotions are going to be like after whatever this thing we're talking about is. And so people are giving themselves the time to give themselves what they need so they can to do the things that they want, so they can do the things that they need, right? Because the happier version of you, the joyful version of you, outputs a higher quality product with ease compared to an angry, a stressed, an unhappy. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you a clear example. 2 years ago, I was watching a tennis tournament. I forget which one it was. It was one of the majors. And Djokovic was coming on the field, right? Onto the court. And as he was coming out, the commentators started to say, we're going to see how well he performs today. Now, for those of you that don't know who Djokovic is, he is the most winningest player in history of tennis. Okay? He is the GOAT. Okay? Here he is coming out, and they're questioning his performance, and the first thing you think is, what injury does he have? But guess what? He had 0 injuries. The reason they're questioning his performance is because of something that happened off the court. Something was happening with his mom or wife. I can't remember, but it was literally a personal, emotional tragedy that was going on. And here come commentators questioning the greatest player of all time, how he's going to do on the court today. He's not hurt. Why should he play any worse? Because emotionally, he is not where he needs to be. And the commentator said, we're not sure he's going to perform. And guess what happened? He lost.
Yeah.
So the number one thing everyone needs to be focusing about if you want to see teams perform at higher levels, including yourselves, is how are you feeling about you and where you are? You want your performance to go up? You need to support your personal growth. Professional only happens after personal. You can't grow professionally if personally you're hurting, if personally you're not happy, personally you're stressed out, personally you have too much and you feel like there's too much pressure and your boss and your people and everyone's asking and you can't do it. You'll show up. You'll take the paycheck because you need that too, that stress, but it doesn't mean you're performing, which is why people still fall into the Pareto principle. 20% of my team does 80% of the work. Mistake. Hey, everyone, New Year's resolution. No more Pareto principle in business. Stop it. End it. If you believe 20% does 80%, fire the 80%. To be more profitable. Guaranteed profit go up the same day you do it.
Yeah.
So there's a little Christmas gift for everybody doing Christmas.
Right. Here's that. So let me recap that. So address your personal growth, your personal well-being so that you can produce the best quality results, right? And I've caught myself trying to do this. I try to take like the shittiest tasks I have to do. I actually write them at the top of my list because the sooner I get those cleared, the sooner I have less distraction from stuff I don't want to do. And then I can really put better time at like high priority stuff we want to get done as in our businesses. One final question for you, Alex. And I think this is, I'm really looking forward to hearing your answer on this because you're, big personality, great creativity. So the show is, talent in lending tech. How has your music and creativity helped you, build a successful career, successful life? Something our viewers can take away with them.
Oh my gosh. All right. So look, let's, how much time do you have is the question. I'm talking to one of them. You are an expression of my creativity in business. I called you. I said, get your butt on stage. People need to see your musical talents because this boring business BS that we keep going to do. We keep hearing talking heads. Yes, I'm so smart. Buy my stuff. Who cares? Watch this. Get entertained. We're going to talk about some stuff that's relevant, right? And here comes Mark. And now people, as you know, you all love Mark. How do you not love Mark? Because he's incredible. So that was a creative outlet. I'll give you more examples. Mark, how many rap videos did we put out at Sales Boomerang? 3?
We put out a couple, yeah.
3 or 4. Completely custom. Working with Jason. He's incredible.
Yeah, that was fun.
And so there's another example. In a previous company, in a mobile technology company, how do I use my creative talent? I created a stop motion graphics commercial completely by myself. Used no editors, nobody. I literally took a camera, set it up, and moved things around until there was a whole commercial created about, at the time it was called Fiddlefly was the name of the platform. I have used my creative talents designed this is one of the most successful things we ever did. Ready? Creative talent. Here we go. We took a piece of, we printed on toilet paper. Okay. Got creative. Printed on toilet paper. Ready? We're a marketing company. And we sent it to our target audience. And on each piece of paper, it said, stop doing the same old poop emoji.
I love it.
On toilet paper.
Yeah.
Marketing company, right? creativity, design, thinking.
Yeah.
Music is everywhere. Art is everywhere. I doodle and draw and do things. Act. I just did for 300 people. Me and Gerhard from Selling Power. I pretended to be a guy from 1924, and then I traveled to the future, and I was a guy from 2124, and then I was Alex. It was all on stage. It was all on changed outfits, different thing, the whole thing.
I love it. Can I give you a compliment? Something I've seen from your creativity?
Yeah.
Because I learned from you, I'm having to do like everything now in this new business. I'm doing marketing. I'm doing business dev, sales, but I don't mind. It's, I need to, give it a shot. But that being said, one of the most amazing things I've learned from you is you're always testing forward. And think about the way you lay down music, right? You're experimenting with sound, experimenting with tracks, experimenting with timing, experimenting with all different aspects. And then you create this beautiful, musical masterpiece that I've heard examples of before. I've seen you do the same thing in business. You create brand. How did you get to that brand? You test. You're testing and experimenting. How did you get to sell, all of the, friends we have in the industry, not sell, but actually create a solution that can help them? You have to test and learn what can actually help them. And then you're really good at receiving that information to turn that into something. And I think that is a great way that's really represented, how you've turned your creativity into success. So just
that's a very good. Thank you
for sharing that gift with me.
Cheers. So. Yes. Thanks, man. That's testing. And here's the thing. I think this goes to music. That what you just described, that market testing that I do with lots of questions.
Yeah.
It's about listening, right? Just like a musician, you got to be able to listen. You got to hear your music.
Right.
If you're tone deaf to your own music, you're going to be tone deaf to your own business. So,
Amen.
You know what I mean? And so you have to be able to constantly test and never fall in love with the result that you have, because there's some laws. Everyone needs to understand. One of the laws, universal laws, is everything changes.
Yeah.
And so you want to be the catalyst for that change. You don't want to be the one that's told they have to change because it's already happened. You want to be the reason things are changing. And so you always want to try new things and see how it sounds. And
well said.
Keep your ear to the ground.
So we're about the end of the show here, but we're going to be turning over the show to show off some of your creative talent in music, some of the tracks you
get on the wheels of steel right here for everyone.
I may be giving some reaction commentary and, being enlightened by what you can do and what I haven't seen. But, and then also I hope to bring you out to maybe perform live with us at one of our talent shows in 2025. We're going to be putting on multiple talent shows in the conference scene in the lending industry, and you are always invited. It needs to go bigger than me by bringing in great people to be a part of it. I think that music should be participative and people get a much better experience out of that. So I'm looking to bring great talent like you, out with me, even if it's only one time. I'd love to have you. Anyways, we're nearing the end of the show. Any special wishes or things for people, our viewers watching for the holiday to wish them well? Should we do a toast to them?
We'll do a toast. I have a gift for everyone. So depending on when you're listening to this, if it's still December, we're doing a thing called $1 December. That means anyone can get fuel for $1, unlimited access. For the month of December. And if you're getting it on like the 20th of December, because of when you're seeing this, or 24th of December when you're seeing this, you would get you wouldn't just get December free for 5 days or 6 days or 7 days. You'll get the entire month. So if you got December 24th, January 24th, right? You don't have to worry about it. You got the entire month, 30 days for $1. So we have lots of organizations. We just had an organization upload 600 of their users to give them access to fuel for $1. It's about fueling your resolution. So if you're listening to this, check in. If for some reason you're listening to this in January, February, or January sometime, just send a message to Mark. Be like, hey, I just listened to your podcast. You know what Alex offered, I'd love to do it for $1. We'll figure something out. I have 1,000 people on my team. I'd love to we'll figure something out. Now, if it's October of 2025, don't do that. That's not going to work out. But that's a gift for everyone that they can get from listening to this podcast through you. Is $1 December, and the toast, the wish for everyone is, look, is about each individual person on your team. The minute you stop treating everyone on your team as one, now I'm not saying you're not a team. I'm saying stop treating everyone as one. Because I'm going to give you an example from an area that works extremely well, which is professional sports. Let's talk about football because that's the hot thing in town today. Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, since that's the hot thing in town with 12-1, the current season record. If you look at football, coaches that coach individual positions, you have a quarterback coach, you have this coach, that coach, this coach, that coach. What you don't have is a running back that did something weird, and the coach brings everyone together and says, all right, everybody, practice this thing now. And everyone's like, that's a running back thing. That's what happens in business. You talk to everyone when really there's only a few people that need it. Stop it. Focus on each person individually. Give each individual the care they need. Grow each person individually. And if you're a leader, here is your toast. Here's my wish to you for the year, and next year, and future. Your job is to develop talent. As a leader, your only job, including you, Mark, is to develop the people on your team. You are not responsible for all the things they do. You're responsible at the level they do it at. And your job is to create the environment for them to be able to grow and grow and grow. And when somebody stops growing, it's the end of their career. I mean that in life. I mean that in business. And so as a leader, talent development is number one. So I wish to you the ability to recognize and develop every person on your team the way that they need to be developed, and to wish luck and fortune to those people that aren't the best fit for your team. That's my wish to you.
That's
Merry
awesome.
Christmas. Happy New Year. Be the best talent developer. Yes. Amen.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Wherever you celebrate. So thank you, everybody.
Let's go. Thank you, Mark.